We've talked a great deal about undue influence. The effort to persuade or manipulate us into thoughts and actions that end up being really the wrong thing for us. Generally, this comes from those who have, again, their own reasons for wanting us to act a certain way that are typically selfish reasons. Most of the influence we get in our lives, though, is coming from people who don't have that predisposition, at least not ostensibly. That can include our family members, people closest to us, our spiritual leaders, our academic instructors and colleagues, the media and politicians, and healthcare providers. Across the board, these are groups that typically earn and deserve our respect uh, by virtue of our personal relationships and also the professions or fields that they represent. Having said that, that should not absolve us from the importance of critical thinking, the ability and the necessity of judging or evaluating, considering information that we get from all of these sources in the broader context of consistency, for one thing. Is it consistent with the values that underlie those organizations? Again, across the board, whether it be religious, academic, business, personal, even, or medical. We'll talk about medicine some other time in greater detail. When we have respect, as we should have, for people representing this cross section of expertise, it's usually because that respect is deserved by virtue of superior knowledge that these groups might represent and their commitment to us or their proven track record. In the case of our family members, the love that they show for us time and time again, and hopefully that we're able to reciprocate without question. But in every instance, especially as we grow older, we have the life experience and the capacity to be critical thinkers, to think through all of the aspects of what we're being offered, especially if it's a fairly cut and dried proposal. That's where perhaps nuance becomes important, and it's really necessary for us as critical thinkers to decide how much of what we're being offered can we accept in good conscience, and how much do we need to question or perhaps even reject. Um, in the war, which began in October of 2023 between Muslim extremists in the Palestine portion of the Middle East and Israel, there are some pretty sharp sides being drawn here and arguments that are ongoing. Much of it is conjuring up anti Semitic thoughts of the past, and Jews have taken it on the chin through most of their history, and we haven't gotten past that. It's important in this time, especially with respect to that issue, for us to educate ourselves about all of what these people have gone through, the origin of Israel, and the proposal to make it work in a troubled part of the world, and what might have gone on to derail that before jumping to the conclusions that the Jews are wrong or overdoing it or deserve it, as some are alleging. This is hurtful not only to them, but it's extremely disturbing to me, especially in the historical context of what Jews have been through at the hands, typically, of other majorities with whom they've lived outside of the Middle East, in Europe, the Holocaust, and so on, and really going back from there. Anti Semitism is a serious, serious problem, as is racism in the United States, and we have a problem here with often having black and white sides established by opinion leaders, those who we are supposed to trust and maybe in some areas do trust, who ask us to simply accept their version of events without question. Critical thinking gives us the capacity to decide really what nuances are important. Why might certain actions be taking place? And why is it important for us not to jump to premature conclusions about what those actions are? If we do that, and really empathy becomes very helpful here in trying to put ourselves in the shoes of others, it makes it easier for us to begin to gain these insights that will help us to show respect for those authority figures who objectively may know more than we do, but also to be consistent with those values that are part of our own life experience in drawing our own conclusions that help us to be fair to all parties involved and true to our own trust. Thank you.